Welcome and thank you for joining us today for our Land Services SA webinar on amendments to manual, community and strata plans. This is a pre-recorded session with a live Q&A session at the end of this presentation. We ask you to kindly hold all your questions until the allocated time, where one of our subject matter experts will be able to assist. Land Services SA is committed to providing an excellent customer experience. One way we continue to deliver value to the industry is through our industry education program, where we produce a range of helpful educational materials, hold regular webinars, and host industry events. Our industry education program addresses key topics or frequently asked questions to ensure you remain up to date with contemporary practices. We want to help set you up for success and believe helping with industry education will help reduce the volume of requisitions, meaning a quicker and more seamless experience for your clients. Land Services subject matter experts assist in delivering our industry education program, utilising their years of experience and respected place in the industry. This webinar was prepared by Matt Heinrich. Matt is a Level 3 Plan Examiner with over 20 years' experience. Matt has been involved in the creation of EPL, SALIS and DPL. During this webinar, we will be discussing the amendments to manual plans in DPL, how to request dispensation for manual formats, and we will take you through an example for lodging one. The purpose of this webinar is to explain the enhancements made to the amendments process since the transition from electronic plan lodgement to digital plan lodgement or DPL. In particular, the addition of functionality to enable amendments of original manually lodged community and strata plans and amendments to strata plans that have been converted to the Community Titles Act. DPL now has the functionality that enables the electronic lodgement of plans that had previously been lodged in a manual format. This means that amendments to manual plans can be lodged in either the updated new digital format or in the original manual format, subject to gaining dispensation from LSSA to do so. Conversions from the original manual strata plan to a new community plan while maintaining the strata plan number can now be lodged in the current digital format. The expectation is that all manual community plans will be converted to digital A3 format when amended. In the event that the original manual community plan is large, i.e. has many sheets, or is extremely complex and difficult to reproduce in A3 format, and the amendment is minor, dispensation may be given to use the existing TIFF images for the unaffected sheets, and either redraft substitute sheets in original format or edit the existing image. To request dispensation to lodge in a TIFF format, please contact the Client Advice Plan Examiner to formally request dispensation. Again, the expectation is that all existing strata plans will be converted to digital A3 format when a plan amendment is required. In the event that the strata plan is large, i.e. many sheets, or extremely complex, or difficult to reproduce in the A3 format, dispensation may be given to use the existing TIFF images for the unaffected sheets, and either redraft substitute sheets in original format or edit the existing image. This only applies to amendments with minor changes, which would previously have been given dispensation to be lodged as an amendment in red, a process which no longer exists. Certification and the label substitute sheet are now required on each amended sheet. The new category to convert a strata plan to a community plan has been included in DPL. As this is a new plan, there is no dispensation to lodge these plans in any format other than the A3 DWG format. Dispensation to amend a plan using the existing superseded image format may be sought from Plans Client Advice at any stage prior to the plan being lodged. Note that the function of disabling the auto-generated textual sheet and plan numbering in DPL cannot be triggered until after the draft is created for the amendment. This is reversible at any stage before plan deposit. If dispensation is given prior to the draft being created in DPL, then evidence of that correspondence should be attached to the draft when created, and Plan's client advice is contacted once more to trigger the manual process. We will now take you through the process of lodging the amendment in DPL. The process of creating the amendment has not changed and is easy to follow through the screens. When starting your amendment in DPL, make sure you click the Amend CP/SP button. You can add in your job reference in the field if needed, and then click Continue to proceed. In this particular example, we will be covering an amendment to a community plan, but you can also see the other options that are available to select: an amendment to Strata or convert a Strata to community plan. Select the relevant option for your job and click Continue to proceed. Enter the number of the plan you are amending and click Retrieve Plan Data to bring through the existing plan details. The plan category will come through as pre-populated. Then select the appropriate plan purpose for your job. Click Create Amendment to proceed. The plan is built in the same way as the previously existing electronic amendments function in EPL, with the main difference being that the information pre-populated is from SALIS rather than from the electronic plan being amended. Given the nature of the stored information in SALIS, this limits the amount of pre-populated data available, particularly with the older Strata plan records. Populate the missing data from the image of the plan, for example, the outer boundary plan reference as used in this slide. For Strata plan amendments and conversions, the original title reference, which will now be a cancelled title, may not be available and must be added manually. A common misconception is around the original cancelled title and the current other titles affected. The subject title, original cancelled title, and the land description must remain the same as the original plan. The current titles that are being affected by the amendment must be added in the other titles affected. Enter the new development details and any previous development details if they are not shown in the current 5-number format. However, for most Strata plan amendments and conversions, the original SCAP will not be available, so there is nothing to add under the previous development plans heading. If converting to full A3 format, then easement details must be added. If amending an original superseded format, then entering easement details is optional. If converting to full A3 format, then annotation details must be added. If amending an original superseded format, then entering annotations is optional. Additional data that does not populate the textual sheet or SALIS at lodgement is optional for amendments using the superseded format. For this example, the TIFF images that appear here are extracted from the SALIS image library. Click the button to carry forward all images. From here, delete the lot entitlement sheets of the plan being amended. These images should be the last files on the list. Replace the TIFF images being amended with your redrafted images, or view, save, and amend the existing TIFF where dispensation has been given, ensuring that the substitute sheet label and the certification is shown on all amended sheets. The plan component is completed without a textual sheet, and the plan retains its original format. The plan is also certified electronically, and the fees are paid in DPL. It is important to note here that the requirement for the AP D-Link to be lodged at the same time as the Strata plan amendment is no longer applicable. In summary, the key points to take away from this webinar are: there is no longer a facility to lodge manual plan amendments. The amendment in red process no longer exists. AP dealings are no longer required to be lodged at the same time as the plan amendment. DPL now caters for all community and strata plan amendments, including conversions to community plans. Existing TIF images are supplied from Salus. Please contact Plans Client Advice to request dispensation for lodging in a superseded image format. Land Services website has a range of educational and support materials to assist you in your day-to-day work. Our Industry Education Hub is a good place to start, and this can be found by clicking the Industry Education Hub on the home page of LSSA's website. A copy of today's webinar will be published on the Industry Education Hub, together with a recording of previously held webinars. That concludes the recorded webinar section. Thank you for listening. Please remain online for the live Q&A session with our subject matter experts.